For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or cheap games on any platform, use the referral link in the description. It'll take you to g2a.com. Use the promo code CHES over there and you'll get yourself 3% cash back. For all No Identity merchandise, hats, hoodies and t-shirts, follow the link in the description down below to the No Identity Fan Fibre website. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 28 of the Rail Oviedo Career Mode series here on FIFA. We have finished the first season. This is the season roundup. As always, we'll have a look at the competitions we're involved in. We'll have a look at the squad and see how they're developing, or how they've developed throughout this first season. And we'll look ahead towards season number 2, which will of course start tomorrow. So, of course, in the league, we were victorious by 10 points at the top of the table, and well, it couldn't have been much closer, could it, for that second spot? We weren't sure who was going to get it. Levante were there for a while, Cordoba were there and thereabouts for ages, Zaragoza were in second for a while, Almeria were in second for a while, but it was Real Zaragoza that got the result got the results against Almeria and Levante, because of course it's done on head-to-head, not goal difference. Yes, Real Zaragoza's goal difference was better than the other two as well, but it would have been because they beat or just had better records against Almeria and Levante. That's the reason why they finished second and didn't finish third or fourth. So Almeria, Levante, Getafe and Cordoba will fight it out for a place in La Liga next year via the playoffs. But we were victorious in the league, so I'm delighted with the league win, especially after a really poor start to the season. We had a decent run in the Copa de España, or the Copa del Rey, of course, getting to the semi-finals, losing rather convincingly to Sevilla in the semi-finals. They went on to win the trophy, as you can see, by 2-0 over Real Betis in... Was that the pre-season tournament? I can't remember. I think that was a pre-season tournament, wasn't it? And we didn't get out of the group stage in that. Or was this the pre-season tournament? Yeah, this was the pre-season tournament, European International Cup. What's the P de Ascenso? I don't remember that. I remember being involved in that at all. Ah, no, Ches. That'll be the playoffs, won't it? Well done. So, Levante won the playoffs by 3-0. Won the playoff final by 3-0 over Cordoba. So they will join us in La Liga next year. I don't know why it took me so long to actually acknowledge that. We got through to the semi-finals of the pre-season tournament, but lost by a 0-0 to Bolton. In the Champions League, Barcelona ran out 2-1 winners against Sevilla. Strong performances from Spanish sides in Europe. 3 of the 4 spots in the semis were Spanish teams. An El Clasico in the semi for Barcelona to go through and then beat Sevilla. So Sevilla close to winning a second trophy. In the Europa League, it was Fiorentina that came out on top on penalties ahead of Borussia Dortmund. So another Spanish team there in the quarters. Just the one, though. So Celtic get through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Fenerbahce and Besiktas both there as well. So some interesting, unexpected teams in the latter stages of that competition. Currently, the Confederations Cup is ongoing. And you can see Portugal, Uruguay, Argentina and Germany are through to the final. In the group stages, Brazil and Australia went out, as did Mexico and the Ivory Coast. So unfortunately for them, no latter stages in international competition. We'll have a quick look at the other leagues around Europe, see who will be doing what next year in the Champions League and Europa League, and obviously just in general, see who won the league. Of course, in England, Arsenal won the league by 3 points ahead of Spurs. Chelsea in 3rd, Manchester City 4th, United only 5th, Liverpool down in 8th. Not the way you would have expected the Premier League to go. Middlesbrough, Hull and Burnley relegated. In the Championship, Newcastle won the league with 100 points from Aston Villa on 93, so they'll both get promoted. Ipswich, Leeds, Norwich or Brighton will join them. Relegated will be Rotherham, Burton and Barnsley. Going up, Charlton and Bolton from League One into the Championship. Charlton with over 100 points. Millwall, Bradford, Sheffield United or MK Dons will join them. Relegated are Oldham, Shrewsbury, Chesterfield and Northampton. Promoted from League 2. Wow, Notts County with 105 points. 105 points, losing only 3 of their 46 games this season. Leyton Orient and Portsmouth will join them. One of Colchester, Cambridge United, hopefully. Plymouth Argyle and Doncaster will join them in League One next year. And if the conference were on the game, Morecambe and Barnet would be going down. In France, PSG win the league by 2 points from Monaco, Nice and Marseille. Bayern Munich win the Bundesliga. Shock. Wolfsburg up in 2nd, though, which is a surprise. Dortmund in 3rd, Schalke in 4th, Leverkusen 5th, and Mönchengladbach in 6th. In Italy, no surprises there. Juventus win the Scudetto with Roma in 2nd and Napoli in 3rd. 10 points between the two and 12 points between Roma and Juventus. So a strong performance from Juve that year. 32 wins in 38 games. A similar sort of season to the one that we had at Napoli in the final season of that series that has finished now, I believe, by the time you see this. Ajax win in the Eredivisie. Legia Warsaw win in Poland, Porto win in Portugal, Zenit in Russia, Scotland was Aberdeen above Celtic by a point, interesting, Rangers down in 4th, Real Madrid win La Liga though, from 7 points from Sevilla, who've had a phenomenal season, final of the Champions League, winning the Copa del Rey and finishing 2nd in La Liga. What a year for Sevilla. Barca in 3rd, Atletico 4th. We won't be playing next year. Sporting, Granada or Leganés. They will get relegated and we'll be going up into that division to hopefully finish in the top half in season number 1, although our squad isn't going to be that strong comparatively to the rest of the teams in the league. With regards to board expectations this year, we got £10 million for winning the league, and we are 88% complete for that 3rd and final main objective. 92 as our managerial rating. It was 93, but it dropped as I had headed towards the end of the season for some reason. We met both youth development expectations. The brand exposure will probably get ticked as we head into the next season. Financially, 88%. I mean, I can't get much closer. There's barely anything I can do to raise money at this level in Spain. Domestic success, they want me to gain automatic promotion. We won the league, get to the round of 32 of the Copa del Rey. We got to the semi-finals, and obviously, being in the Segunda Liga, no European success was necessary. So thrilled with all that. We have minimal budget available, but I mean, I've got nothing to do with that. I might offer some contracts around to players that have a year left, or will have a year left when we get into, that's the wrong tab, when we get into the next season, or as we head towards that new season. So I could perhaps offer contracts to Michu, Pereira, Susayeta, Fernandez, Rocha, Fernandez, Eris, Vila, Fernandez and Johannesson, so that I can then sell them on next year. Might as well use the money now to recoup it next season if I possibly can. So I'll do that between now and the end of the very end of the season, although there's not long left actually, about 3 days I think. What are we on, the 29th? 26th, okay, I should be able to get some contracts done in that time. But we'll end with the squad report so you can see who's done what this year. Let's jump into that now. And here we are with the squad report. Alfonso Herrero up 12 this year, continuing to be trained. A couple of mistakes have snuck into his game recently, and it has been disappointing. So I'm pleased that we already have Iker Casillas coming in next year, and Alfonso Herrero will be our second goalkeeper. Although I may sell him on and train up, not Esteban, but the young 54 rated goalkeeper we currently have in our setup. So we might use Alfonso Herrero to raise some extra funds next year for future transfers. Well, too many Fs in there. Jose Fernandez up 1 to 71 this year. He's great. He's been rock solid for me all year long. 40 games played, 17 clean sheets, only the 2 assists, but as a 71 rated player, I really didn't expect much more. David Costas, he's on loan. I would like to bring him in permanently if I can, although we do have a couple of centre-backs joining us on a pre-contract. David Fernandez's stats are starting to drop now, so I will look to sell him on next year and hopefully maybe replace him with David Costas. No idea what my budget will be next season. I'm hoping it's at least half decent. Varela up to 75 rated now, which is fantastic. Continuing to train him. No, I'm not training him anymore. I was training him, I'm not anymore, and he's still growing, which is superb. He's up 6 to 75, 1 goal, 1 assist, 39 games played. That 1 goal, of course, a deflected effort in the last episode or the one before? I think yesterday's episode. John Reese will get sold in the upcoming season, but he's been decent enough. Lucas Torre will go back to Real Madrid and be replaced by someone else coming in. Nando will go back to, where's he from? Valencia. Nando will go back to Valencia. He was all right, but wouldn't rant and rave about him. Sal Bajon will get sold. Fran Villalba is here for another year on loan, so we'll look to continue to utilise him in that cam role. Michu, going to offer him an extended contract. You can see 17 goals in 41 games. They really dried up in the latter half of the season. And of course, he has retired now in real life due to an ankle injury. So we'll keep him here at the club, but I don't think he's going to be that heavily involved in us going forward, which is a shame, but his stats are really starting to drop and his goals did dry up. So he just isn't having the impact, unfortunately. We will look to sell Jonathan Vila to raise some more funds. Jonathan Pereira, we will also look to sell. 8 goals, 8 assists for him in all comps, 38 games played total. Some important goals from him, but just not enough, really. Ed Lewis is up 10 to 69, and I will be utilising him at centre-back in future, rather than at right-back, because we have a new right-back coming in, and obviously we already have Fernandez, who's pretty decent. Jorge Ortiz is okay. He's okay. He'd be a good impact player for us, a good rotation player. Jorge Sainz is here on loan for another year. Didn't play that much for me this year, but will be a good fringe player. Joaquin Correa back from injury now. Played okay. 3 goals, 4 assists in 13 games. Very, very well in the Copa de España, but only 1 game played. Missed, was it 7 months with an ACL tear, which sucks really, because we brought him in hoping to really make the most of him, but it didn't affect our play, did it? Because we ended up winning the league anyway. Lovrencic came in and did very well. Consistent performer for me, and again will be a good fringe player. I may consider selling him on depending on who else we bring in. Roberto Aguado is a player that is going to grow hopefully quite a lot next season whilst out on loan. Luis Sanchez, I'm hoping to grow whilst at the club and play him in a handful of games as well. He played 3 for me this year. I'm hoping next year can play a little bit more as well. See, he's going to grow into a fantastic player. Hurtado is the young goalkeeper we're going to look to train and move on Alfonso Herrero. So Hurtado hopefully will grow quite well. How tall is he? 6'4", I think. Yes, 6'4" indeed. So Vicente Aguirre is also going to grow and probably go out on loan. 51 rated, it'd take a lot of training. He'd be better suited to going out on loan. His stats are growing already though. Like all of that growth has come without him being trained. Viti wants to go out on loan, so I have added him to the loan list. He did come to me and say, look, can I go out on loan? I'm not playing enough. So that's fair enough. At least he had the nous to come and say something to me. Yassine will probably go out on loan as well. Borja Dominguez is in on loan and not fussed about keeping him. Carlos de Peña also in on loan, not asked about keeping him either. 1 goal in 5 games was all right, but pretty average. Rocha I will sell because he's, well, average and getting worse, I guess. Figuera was pretty solid for me, to be fair. Came in, did the job, did the business with that free signing. 65 rated, but played better than a 65 rated player, to be fair. Caicedo was good as well, actually. Came in and did well. Got the 1 goal, which was that header. Up 1 to 68. Another good squad player to have. Oscar Hill is in on loan, I think, for 2 years. I'm not sure. Might be less. But we do have more centre-backs coming in on pre-contracts. Nestor Susayeta I will sell next season. Toche is retiring, so we don't have to worry about him. Christian Fernandez I will sell next season. Esteban is retiring, so we don't have to worry about him either. And I just remembered I was going to play Esteban, wasn't I, in the final game of the year, and I forgot. But he did at least play 1 game this season. And Diego Johannesson is out on loan, but he will come back and then be sold next year. So that's the way the side looks at present. I'll show you my youth squad at this moment in time. Again, Joaquin Duarte is going to be a main player for us in a few years' time. Oscar Barrios, 79 to 87 potential, decent. 80 to 88 for Ismael Luna, again another high potential. 80 to 86 for Sandoval. I'm not too sure about that, although with high agility and high balance could be fairly decent in a cam role perhaps. Valentin Prado, 81 to 87. We have a number of centre mids really, don't we, at present? Youngsters, that is, not first team available players. Carazzo, 82 to 88. I don't know what to do with him either at 17 years of age. I might call him up and send him out on loan. I'm not sure. I will take your guys' advice on all of that. But that is going to bring today's episode and this first season to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel too to make sure you don't miss out on Season 2, which will start tomorrow. But for now, I'll see you next time.